Hey everyone, it's Kipzi, and today I wanted to teach you how to paint metal in medibang. I wanted to say something first though. Painting metals is all about light and reflection, and I'm just going to give you a very basic lesson in that. Every kind of metal reflects light to an extent, and the reflection level just kind of varies with the textures on their surfaces. The less texture it has, the more reflection, and the more texture, the less reflection. That's why metals like iron don't have a lot of reflection to them, whereas metals like chrome, you can see your face in like perfectly. Now if I just move my reflection here, it shows you kind of a little trick with the light we can go through. It kind of gives you the illusion of where the light is coming from. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a new layer, and I'm going to go to the solid square on the left, choose a gray color, drop a twin ellipse at the top, and select that. Make a ball. I go above the layers and I protect alpha so I don't get out of lines. And now I'm going to begin filling in my colors. I just like to use basic grays, and maybe at the end I'll add a brown or something. Maybe a blue if it's going to be like a silver, because silver kind of has that blue thing. I find if I surround the metal with maybe a little bit of a solid outline with a lighter color, it kind of gives it like a more 3D look. Now I'm going to get in just one more shade of the darkest shadow. The medium shadow is kind of a reflective surface. Now I'm going to create another layer. I'm going to set it to clipping and set it to add, and I'm going to surround the metal with it a little bit. We don't want to overdo this. Maybe give it a little extra shine over there. Sometimes people like to overdo this part, and I would really like to stress not to do that, because it'll make it look a little silly and less like a ball. We really just need just like a basic circle if we're just gonna do a ball, because look, it looks like Batman with a mohawk or something. Remember, this is on an add layer. That is the secret to metal, the add layer. I'm just gonna lightly select my original layer, and I'm going to choose like a slightly lighter color to go under that like super reflection. There, I think that looks a little bit better. It really, really helps use a reference. Always use a reference. I'm not using a reference, and it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. Now here's the basic level, the basic lesson in reflections. I'm just going to pretend that this ball is sitting on a red table. And because it's sitting on a red table, I'm going to create another layer on top of my ball, and I'm going to set it to overlay, and I'm going to reflect. I'm going to reflect that. Because like I was explaining, metal is highly reflective. It picks up like everything. For example, if there were like trees in the background or something, you would be painting trees on the metal to sort of like reflect. If we want to add a little bit more, we can go to the top left and use the materials tab from the cloud. We're going to have to do this on a new layer though, I forgot that. So let's create a new layer, and I'm using the sand 3 under the tone. You can change the blending mode if you want, but I'm actually happy with just dropping the opacity. You know, to give this a little more light, a little more life, we could maybe take the sharp pen tool and on the add layer, make it very, very thin. Make it very thin. We could just draw on some scratches. I like to draw them near the reflections. You kind of like gotta surround the form of the ball with them if you want. And finally, I'm going to add a brown to make it look a little bit more lifelike. And that's it.